Okay, all right, so I'm back at the bin and I'm gonna do a review because I've done this already with this piece of crap. With this piece of crap GoPro. I'm not happy at all with the GoPro, but now that the Roundup is working. Oh, is anybody interested in this thing? It's called a Fiber VS1202. This is one of those vertical bale accumulators. It gets 3 of them on there, 3x4s. And then when you get 3 of them on, it dumps. This belongs to my nephew. He wants to sell it. It has 9,000 bales through it. That's it. Not too many. So anyway, the bin guys were out and looked at this bin, and yeah, the bin guys were out and looked at this bin, and we're going to be doing, I'm not going to do the work myself because it just won't pay. It's too expensive for me to do the job. So as you can see, this thing is crushing. See that? I don't know if you can see it, but it's crushing. This band is, it's crushing. It isn't worth it. That one there is crushed. They took a bunch of pictures, and they basically have come to the same conclusion as what I did, was to replace these 2 bands. And something with this door, they're going to change that door, which is fine by me. God, I hate spiders. But I was going to go in here, but I don't think I guess I can. I don't know if it'll, let me put this in there like that. Okay. I hate spiders. And I tell you that I dislike them. Fat ass in here. Okay. So this bin was built in 1977, and it is done. It's just time to repair it, replace it, whatever. Now, I was thinking about replacing it, but for the amount of grain that I do I really want to replace it? I would rather repair it, and then if the grain business is okay, then I will add another one. I will build another one. But this one here is just, it's been here for all this time. It's time to repair it. So I had the guys out, they did the pictures. I know this echo is going to be kind of annoying, and what they have told me to do is quite simple. They're like, Mr. Pandy, you need to remove these augers, this one, that mess you've got there, and these troughs. These aeration troughs have to be removed. So all of this steel, and if you look inside there, it is full of stone. The reason it's full of stone is because of the groundhogs, or not groundhogs, the mice, rats, whatever. They've gone in there and they have undermined it. All of that stone has been put in there from underneath this bin. Now, they said that I should just pull those troughs out and pour it full of concrete. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm going to do. So, yeah. And what they're going to do is they're going to pull these 2 bands off, and they're going to put a 12 gauge band or an 11 gauge band and a 12 gauge band, and they're going to reseal it, and they're going to put a grain floor in here. But in order to do that, grain floor and then a regular auger, unloading auger, and a carry-in sweep. That's what I'm going to do, just a carry-in sweep. I didn't want to do the carry-in sweep at first. I'm like, do I need to do the carry-in sweep? Do I need to do the carry-in sweep, or should I just put the regular gear-driven one that's always in there? And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to use the carry-in. I'll be okay with that. I got people here that can do that. So that's what I'm going to do. It'll be a carry-in sweep inside there, and the discharge auger will come out. It's an 8-inch discharge auger over that 6-inch that's there. And I think there's a 6. Is it a 6? I'm pretty sure it's a 6. I don't think that's 8. Is that 8? See, this is automatic farm systems there. Yeah, it's a 6-inch. So they're going to put an 8-inch discharge auger, and we'll use this motor here to 5 horsepower. It should be able to do it just fine. If it doesn't, well, then they got a 7.5 horsepower motor that they'll put in. But I got work that I have to do. Got to pull all this shit out of there, get everything on the inside out. These wires will have to be redug, put new wires in, because that's just a shit show and a half right there. When you have cows, cows will destroy everything. They will just destroy everything. And we had the cows in and around this, and they just pulled the wires out. There was lights up on top and everything else. So the bin is going to be repaired. You want to know what the price is? I should probably tell you that I have a budget of $15,000 to fix this bin. For parts, $15,000. I figured, well, you know, a budget of $15,000 for parts, that's not terrible. And you know, that's where I wanted to be. This bin would probably be $50,000-$60,000 to replace it, and I just am not. I'm just not there yet. You know, why do I want to do that? Yeah, just not there yet. So they came at me with a price for $18,300 and some odd dollars to do the job. And I was like, well, okay, is that just the parts? Because we're over on parts then. And he says, oh, no, that's installed. I was like, oh, well, that doesn't sound too terribly bad. So I was like, all right, well, do me a favor and break it down so that I know what parts are versus the installed price. So when he gave me the breakdown, the labor was $3,600. So we're there. $15,000, $16,000, $17,000, $18,300. So we're talking over budget by $3,300. I can do that. It's actually not over budget. It was right dead nuts on with what my budget was to replace this thing. The problem is that I won't be able to get the parts until the end of September, early October. And at that point, I'm probably going to be into this corn already. So I was like, well, shit, that's not going to be good. I won't have time to do the job myself. And they're like, well, we'll see to it that it gets done by the 1st of October if we do the job. I was like, all right, then do the job. So for $3,600, that's the labor part of it. I don't have to touch anything. They just do the whole job, cutting the holes in the roof for the vents. There's going to be 5 or 6 vents that go in up there. 2 fans, the fan that I have and another fan, so that we're running 2 fans instead of just 1. And the dividers and all this other crazy stuff. And the door, clean out door. They're going to change the door. Yeah, so, and there was a couple motors along with the augers, the sweep and the augers and the floor. So everything is good. I said go for it. So that's what we're going to do. The bin will be fixed. That's good. I'm sure there's some people out there that are just going to say, oh, you fool, you should just build a whole brand new one. Well, I've already got, you know, for 1/3 the price, I just fixed what I've got. Yeah, it's going to cost a little bit for the cement. I figured probably $500 or $600 for the concrete to come out and fill in those troughs, because they're gonna, I don't imagine it's gonna be too much, maybe 4 yards is it, and we'll just pour that floor solid, you know, so that it's solid again. But it's gonna take a little bit of work to do that. So the boys are putting a roof on or tarps on piles of hay, and I'm gonna have Cody and Tim, when they get back here, start tearing this bin apart, because we got to have that done, because I can't do anything. It's been raining every freaking day for the last 14 days. Yeah, 12 to 14 days. We did bail a little bit, and we had 3 days that were dry, so we were able to bail a little bit, but other than that, it's wet, damn wet.